Welcome back to Totally Random Thoughts, the podcast where we just talk about totally random shit.
And who are you?
I'm Brianna.
I'm Tag. Good to be back. Welcome to season 2 of Totally Random Thoughts. We are here.
It has been a while.
Yes, life has gotten in the way.
Life does that.
But we're going to make it not be in the way as much as possible. Penny has joined us for the show this week.
Back in her normal spot.
Hi, honey. Yes. She might growl and bite me at some point, but we'll see.
She's
how it goes.
not going to bite you.
She might just rip my face off at some point.
God, no, she's not.
So, Brie, how are you?
I'm okay.
Yeah?
Busy.
What's going on? What's making things so busy?
Work, and we're getting a new porch put on our house.
What kind of porch?
Big
farmer's porch, wraparound porch.
Big farmer's porch. It's going to have a roof and everything on it.
Oh,
so.
Roofs are good.
Mm-hmm.
Will there be plants?
Eventually.
Yeah, there can be plants. I like plants. I like.
We really need to do landscaping.
I'm a guy who likes, I love my porch and my house, and we had to fight the land. So when we built the house, they were not going to let us have our front porch because it was 1 foot too close to the street.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm dead serious. And so
you have a big front yard too.
We also argued them for our addition, and they would not let us dig a foundation because we were too close to the back, which is considered wetlands. So our builder at the time got into a negotiation of sorts with them, and to concede no foundation in the back, but they did like a posts and a slab, they allowed us to have the front porch.
Okay.
And I love our porch. It's a beautiful porch, matches the house nicely. Plants, benches, I love front porches. Like I'm the guy who just loves to go on a nice day just to go sit on the front porch.
You and Nick and your freaking front porches.
What's wrong with front porches?
He's the same way. He's like, we can put the smoker out there. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
The back porch is meant for like all the cooking
stuff.
stuff.
No, the cooking is always on the back deck. Absolutely. Cooking is back deck. But out front we have a little fire pit.
Oh, no, out front, I want like a swing.
We have a storage bench with nice, like I can just lay back in the storage bench, or we have like a rocker bench on the end.
Yeah, I want like a rocking chair or like a swing of some sort, and then some decor, like I'll do a seasonal decor.
I'd like to note right away that my Star Wars cup is still on the show, so way to go.
We can't break tradition.
Thank you, Brie. I gotta have a sip.
You are welcome.
How's life been? We have not been on the air in a little bit. Our season 1 ended last year after 17 weeks, and then life got in the way and just stuff. But we're back now, and
lots of stuff.
And we're gonna be here for. I don't think we're gonna do this forever now. We're never stopping. We're gonna do 77 seasons.
How old will we? Will you be alive?
I will be ancient. Yeah. I'm gonna pre-record a whole lot of stuff before I die.
Okay.
So that even once I die, you can hologram me. Right here. Nobody would know.
I'm sure at some point the AI technology will be so advanced that might be possible.
We don't even have to do the show at some point.
That's kind of scary to think about.
We could just AI the whole show.
We could just talk, but
we could
not
just
have
put
to
two
be on
pictures
video.
of us here, because with the mic in front of my face, I mean, really, if I'm just sitting here talking like this, no one really sees my mouth with the microphone.
Yeah,
so we could just put 2 mannequins here and AI the voices, and there you go.
So weird. Well, no, AI could make us move, is what I'm saying.
Yes, and Penny would have to be here too. They would have to AI Penny.
Oh, 100%. Sorry.
So what's new and good in Brianna world?
We one of the things that got in the way for me these last few months that is now hopefully almost done. We ended up completely gutting and renovating our camper.
Oh, that's awesome. That's right.
Which is not something we planned on. We planned on fixing like one corner of it and maybe updating it a little bit because it's a 2002. It was a hand-me-down, but it was in decent shape, and new ones are expensive, and we just bought a new truck at the end of last summer to tow said camper with, so we didn't want a truck payment and a camper payment.
And that's I'm taking a picture because it's our first week back. There we go.
Okay. So my husband ended up digging into it, and long story short, every single wall has been gutted.
Oh my!
And reframed and redone.
Okay.
But it's cheaper than buying a new one because we can do all the work. So that's literally maybe like a week away from being done.
Okay.
It's been a
How big is the camper?
33 feet long.
Drivable or towable?
Towable. It's a fifth wheel.
Oh, okay. Wonderful.
Yeah. So.
Lower maintenance on like no motor stuff and everything. So.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you could just unhitch it and drive away and do other stuff.
Oh yeah, I will. I think I'm forever. We're like forever fifth wheelers. They're so much easier to tow. I'd rather tow than have a motorhome. I don't know why. I just think
I had a motorhome, got rid of it. Honestly, it's much better to not have a motorhome, and I love that. I agree that the fifth wheel is probably better.
yeah.
It just I don't know. Again, I had one for touring, right? So we used it like a tour bus, and motorhomes are not meant to be used like tour buses. I will tell you that right now. So
No,
if
people
you're
think
a
they're the
musician,
same thing, but
don't
they're
get
not.
a motorhome for a full band. They will not hang on the road. They will not hold up. The maintenance, it becomes unbelievable, and you'll spend your whole tour money just upkeeping the motorhome. It's crazy. Now, if you're a solo guy and you buy like a small one and it's just you in there, you're probably okay. But like a bigger one to put 8 people in and travel around,
It's
it
a
just,
lot.
the wear and tear.
People don't. So my family's business being what it is, we get a lot of people with motorhomes as customers, and it's unfortunate because so many people who love camping and they want to travel, especially retirees who are like, okay, we're retired, we're financially stable, we're empty nesters, we can now travel the country, hop in the motorhome during the nice weather multiple times a year and just go. And that's an awesome idea. Like, yes, I would love to do that.
Absolutely.
We hope to do it
I have a
someday,
client
even
doing
with
that right now.
kids. But
She left
Oh, yeah,
me
I mean-
in March, and she's back in August.
yeah,
And her and her boyfriend are just traveling the country.
it's if you have the opportunity, do it.
Yeah.
It's great, and it's so much cheaper than Airbnb-ing or staying in hotels and taking flights and things like that. But at the same time, people have no clue what they're getting into and what they're buying when they buy these things.
Yeah, it's like they say with the boat, the best
Yeah, like
days are the day you buy it, and
like
the day
you're
you sell
not
it.
you're not just buying like your F-250 with a bed and a bathroom in it. You're buying the equivalent of like an 18-wheeler
Yeah.
when it comes to the engine, the chassis, the brakes.
Yep.
Like you're buying,
Especially if you get like a diesel pusher, that's a lot of maintenance.
and a lot of them are diesel
Yeah.
because to have that power to tow that, like to support that weight.
So and mine was an Alumilite, and it was a Chevy Duali frame. Mm-hmm. So it had the Duali rear.
Oh God, that's another thing is they're all just like big melting pots of all these different manufacturers.
Yeah, and I had a Chevy
Oh.
450 motor in it.
it's awful.
And it while
sorry.
being an easy motor to maintain because it's just Chevy 450 V8. I mean, the
Yeah.
thing was a beast, but it was a 38-foot RV that probably weighed, I don't know, 17,000 pounds on a Chevy motor. That's a lot for any motor to ask.
Oh, especially just a Chevy gas.
Yeah.
That's-
It was $600 to fill the tank, and we were getting about 6 miles a gallon.
Yeah.
You do the math on how much
That's another
we spent.
thing people don't understand.
Yes.
Like we have a 1-ton Dodge Ram that we just got. And the camper itself, we just redid the framing with all pressure treated, so it's probably a little heavier now, but I would guess it's probably around 10,000 pounds. We
Yeah.
can tow up to 18. So it's like nothing for that truck. So even with the camper, there were times where we were getting 10, 11,
Yeah, we
12
got wind drag
miles
like
to
crazy
the gallon.
too. So
If we're just coasting at like 65 on the highway, we can probably get, 10, 11 miles to the gallon, even
amazing.
towing that camper.
yeah, that's amazing.
So it's like, that's another thing people don't realize when they're getting the motorhomes is you're going to have a big, big gas budget.
Yes.
Or fuel budget.
Now, conversely, like for regular touring, when I was by myself, I had my Dodge Ram 1500 van. I had the high top conversion van, and I had customized the entire inside like a small apartment. And that got probably about 16 a gallon, which still sounds terrible, but
Oh, no, that's great.
phenomenal compared to
compared
6 a gallon. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
And I was driving at one point like 3,000 to 5,000 miles monthly. People are like, dude, your van's always in the shop. I'm like, you get an oil change every 6 months. I get an oil change every 3 weeks
Because you're going so many miles.
because I was doing so many miles. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was ridiculous. Yeah.
Even if you go full synthetic, like you're still going to be getting an
Oh,
oil
yeah.
change like every month.
Yeah, but we were talking. What was it? It was a 90 96 high top conversion.
I mean, they were
So-
beasts. I'll give
Oh, it was a
them
monster.
that.
The thing was, she met a fiery death.
Oh no, that was that one. You told me about that.
Yes.
Um,
She went all Christine on the guy who bought her from me. If you know the movie Christine, you'll know what I'm talking
that's
about.
such a good movie. It's such a weird concept.
It is,
but
but-
it's such a good.
So, all right, now I
movie.
got to tell. So, when I came off the road, I didn't need my van anymore. And so a friend of mine who's a drummer knew that I had just built a studio and said to me, look, I want to buy your van and your trailer, but I can only afford the van. But I'll trade you a $2,000 drum set for your trailer. And I was like, this is a deal. Yeah, absolutely. So I drive the van to New Jersey where he was and the trailer. We load the drums up in my, at the time, my Honda CRV and drive home, right? And now the van had a bad fuel pump. And I knew it did. I had replaced it a couple of times. So I said to him, the van's got a bad fuel pump. Get the fuel pump fixed. I will pay for the repair from your mechanic. Send me the bill, and then she's yours. So he takes it to the mechanic. Wouldn't start once we dropped it in his driveway. So he had it towed to the mechanic. They put it up on the lift, and they are working on the fuel tank. So now they have dropped the fuel tank because in that one, the fuel pump was in the fuel tank. It was like a cylinder pump.
Ugh.
So they drop the tank and they get the pump out. The car in the next bay catches fire. They can't get the van off the lift, and the whole shop burns up. So he never even got to drive it because it got towed from his house to the shop. So he bought the van off me, never drove it, towed it to the shop. The shop burns down while it's on the lift, and that's the end of that.
That
van.
is such a
She was like, after 380,000 miles, I'm not letting anyone else have me.
that's such a freak, like weird.
Yeah. And he sent me a
occurrence.
picture, and I went on vacation, right? And I was like, well, when I get back from vacation, send me the bill. So I get back, I'm like, hey, bam, send me the bill for that thing. He's like, so I got a story for you. And he tells me, and then a picture of the van comes through, burnt to the crisp.
Just like
and
a burnt
the
metal
shell,
frame.
all of the fiberglass that made the high
Yeah.
top gone. It was just a frame, and I was like, oh, it broke my heart.
Well,
I was so upset about it.
shit happens, man.
Yes.
Um,
I like these blankets, by the way. These are very
Thanks,
nice.
yeah,
Our new
I-
blankets for the show.
I got us matching ones, so it's a little more cohesive.
Matchy, matchy.
Matchy. I thought they were nice, little like sage green.
They are. I like them.
So.
They're comfy. Like very soft.
I know,
I might take
and
this
much
home.
better quality than the other soft one that I had bought off of Amazon for really cheap. They kept shedding everywhere.
That's shed everywhere. That
The
blanket.
white one, yeah, we're done with that one. So
Yes.
that was quite the intro. Sorry guys, we're catching up here with
Yeah.
you, but we want to today discuss. I'm not going to be, I don't think, as much of a conversationalist with this topic.
I don't
You
wait.
have
Wait,
more
I thought we were doing
knowledge.
your topic first today.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, let's do your topic. Let's start with a Brie show.
Oh God. Okay. So my topic, something that shows up in my FYP a lot on TikTok, I think just because it's like my age group.
Well, it's because you look for it. Your FYP gives you what you look for on a regular.
Well, no, I've liked a couple videos regarding it, but more so on the financial side.
And we're
like-
talking TikTok, by the way.
Yeah.
She's a big TikTok girl.
Sure.
She lives
so
on it all the time.
not really, but I suck at posting there. I need to get better.
There's too many sites now.
Yeah, it's crazy to keep up with. That's a whole other thing. But
Let's go back to MySpace and start over.
with your top 8 friends,
The top
your
eight-
your
the top
profile
7,
song.
because Tom was always one of them.
Exactly.
We only had 7.
I wonder how
And
many
people would get upset if they weren't in your top 8.
I wonder how many profiles at one time. Like, what was the maximum number of profiles at one time that all had Tom as their number one friend?
Every single one.
In the beginning.
At
In the
one point.
beginning.
Yeah.
But
Millions and millions.
I mean, like consecutively at one time. Like, who kept him there?
Oh, who knows?
Just
There's gotta
as
be
a
a thing.
fun little thing.
Let's ask Google.
Anyway, while he's looking that up, so the topic that we're going to discuss today.
MySpace profiles had Tom as their number one friend?
So the topic we're going to discuss today is something that I've heard a lot of people in my social groups and generation talking about, as well as
The answer is the same as yours. He was automatically everyone's first friend, but not everyone retained Tom as their top listed friend. But his initial inclusion meant he was, at one point, the most common number one friend on the platform.
Well, obviously.
Yes.
But so it's a topic that I've heard a lot of people
How many
in
MySpace users
my
were at
social, people my age, different social groups that I've had discussions with, as well as a lot of stuff on the internet talk about this topic. And even I think the news has brought it up multiple times in the last couple of years.
115 million monthly visitors at their peak for MySpace.
That's crazy. But the topic, and I think even the news has brought it up a couple times in the last few years because it's becoming such a well-known statistic.
And what is this topic?
This topic is why are so many people of childbearing age deciding to not have children compared to past
What are we
generations?
defining as childbearing age?
I would say probably people between the ages of 25 and 40.
Okay.
A lot of them are just choosing to, like, the birth rate has dropped exponentially in the last probably 10 to 15 years. And there's a lot of theories as to why.
I'm just checking something.
Okay. He's ignoring us.
No, I'm not ignoring you. So right now that would consist of pretty much just millennials. The current generation between 25 and 40-year-olds is millennials. So that's all millennials.
So my generation.
Your generation.
Who were the boomers kids.
Oh, boy. Those boomers. Fucked up everything.
So.
Not like us Gen Xers. We ruled. We still do. That's why nobody messes with us.
You guys are you're kind of the forgotten generation. I think
no, we're the left alone generation because you know not to mess with us.
We talked about this last season.
Yes.
I know.
If
you want to hear more about that topic,
yeah, go back.
to
It's
last season.
It's just you don't fuck around with Gen X because then you find out.
Yeah. Okay. So just a quick Google AI overview with the different reasons as to why it seems to be that millennials are having less children or less millennials are having children. It seems like a lot of Gen Zers are kind of following that trend from what we've seen. Many still desire to have children, but are prioritizing other aspects of their lives like career and financial stability before having kids. And I think for a lot of people that just kind of so much time goes by and they hit a certain age and they're like, it's probably too late at this point. You're an anomaly. Don't even go there because I know what you're going to say. This man had kids in his 50s or late 40s. So
both actually.
Yes. So
had one and one.
You're an anomaly. Doesn't count.
I'm about to be 58. I have a 6-year-old and an 11-year-old.
Yeah. But I'm saying the majority.
Yes.
Once you hit 40, most people are no to having children. My dad had my sister, my dad was 45 when my sister was born. So my parents were a little older too. But reasons for later parenthood or lack of parenthood in my generation seems to be based on a couple different factors. One is career focus. So many of us are prioritizing building our careers and achieving financial stability before having children. So we don't feel like we have to struggle as much when the kids are young, which I can agree with. That's I think one of the big reasons why Nick and I don't have children yet is because we bought a foreclosure. There's other things that we wanted to do and have in place and have set so we feel more comfortable that we can provide the life for our kids that we think they deserve.
Especially today because, we live in Massachusetts, right? So we are in, I think, arguably right now the most expensive state in the country.
We are, yes.
It takes a family of 4 approximately $300,000 to live comfortably in this state.
And what
that's
is
daunting for anybody. Like when
what
my
is
parents
comfortably? You know what I mean?
Comfortably is your average middle.
But what does that
class.
even mean?
Well, so if you look at, say, my parents' generation, right? My parents' generation owned a house, had a car. When you have all the basic necessities of life,
yeah,
that's considered
but
middle class.
But does that include having a pet or the kids playing sports?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely, all of that.
Yeah.
That's a middle class lifestyle. In Massachusetts, that requires around $300,000 right now.
Yeah.
And
Which
that's
is
crazy.
frightening.
That's frightening and that's crazy. And that could be a very daunting number for someone to, can I afford to bring more people into this place that I got to feed, house, clothe, pay for soccer, pay for swim, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Or am I just barely getting by with me and my significant other? And that would definitely keep people shying away from, the risk of it.
I think that's probably one of the main reasons why a lot of people in my generation are not having
then you got
children.
to add in daycare and things like that. You have to decide.
Yeah.
So now you have a $300,000 comfortable living area, right? So I just got out of daycare, not me myself, but my kids, right? And after 10 years, because my daughter was 5 when my son was born. So as my daughter went to kindergarten, my son went into daycare. So we had 10 years of daycare at around $17,000 a year. And we were in a nice daycare, not a holy shit, that's a college daycare. Like Bright Horizons. No, Bright Horizons was like $3,500 per kid per month.
Oh, yeah.
Like my kid should come out with a Harvard degree for that much, right?
Yeah.
The place we went was very a fantastic daycare, but pricing wise, middle of the road, right?
Right.
$17,000 a year was your middle of the road.
That's more
good
than some
daycare.
private high schools.
That's more than my mortgage was.
Yeah.
So
that's
my wife would pay the
a-
mortgage, I would pay daycare, and there was a fair amount of time over 10 years where I was paying more than she was.
Yeah.
And think about that. You can barely afford your mortgage on your first new home as a young couple.
A lot of people
Either
can't even
one of you has
afford
to quit work.
buy homes right now.
And either one of you has to quit work, or one of you has to pay for daycare. It's that's a catch-22.
Oh yeah,
time.
I mean, one of my best friends, they have one child. She's almost 2. She's turning 2 this month, and they unfortunately don't really have a ton of parental or familial or whatever support in their area to be able to watch their daughter once or twice a week to cut back on daycare. So they have to utilize daycare 5 days a week because they work 5 days a week,
Yep,
Monday through Friday.
Yep.
They're spending, I think, $2,600 a month
Yep.
on a halfway decent daycare
I believe
for
it.
5 days a week for one kid. That's more than their mortgage payment. So same thing. And it's like luckily their salaries are pretty.
We were about $400 a week at our daycare for the kids.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's scary, and I think that's another reason that we'll get into a little later on as far as why some people are choosing to not have kids, because they feel like it ties into the financial, but it's also the fact that they feel like they don't have as much support as their parents did, because our parents have to keep working
Right.
to afford things, or they're just like not wanting to have to babysit so much. And I get it. Like, they're at a point in their lives where they're retirees. They're like, hey, like, we want to go do our own thing.
Like I did my time with kids.
Exactly.
I'm out, yeah.
And they might not mind watching the kid once a week,
I'll
but
never see that, by the way.
your choice. But
But you know what? I'll never do either is never say, "Well, I never got to," because all the stuff that people, well, I'm retiring so I can go do X, Y, and Z. We did X, Y, and Z for having kids. Before we had kids, we jumped off cliffs and swam and scuba dived in
right.
Hawaii.
But most people
did all the things.
Most people did it the opposite way. So now our parents are hitting retiree, and they had to work so hard.
Which is silly if you think about it in a way. When you're young and your back is healthy is when you jump off cliffs,
yeah,
and scuba dive and skydive.
Old age is
and
not
do
promised.
all the things that at 65 your back is going to be like, I'm sorry, you want to do what?
Yeah. Retiring age
Yeah.
is not promised
You
to
should.
anyone.
You should go live life young and have kids a little later. Part of it too is you find out a lot of great things to then do with the kids once they get older. There's a lot more world in you. Sometimes I think new parents who are young, 24-year-old new parents, are in for some shit because, number one, they're still kids, right? I'm sorry, at 24, you're just getting out of college. You haven't found yourself yet. You're still kind of learning what life's about.
Oh God, I'm
And
you're
you're now
a
in
whole
charge of
different
kids,
person than I
right?
was when I was like 23.
Oh, I agree. And because I met you 8 years ago. And how old are you now?
32.
Right. So I met you at 24. You're
Yeah.
a very different person now.
Yeah.
And-
Hopefully in good ways, but
amends, as my grandma would
life
say.
changes you, man.
And they haven't gone out and experienced a lot of life. So not only are they still learning about their life, they're now teaching a life. So they're teaching from a lack of experience. And I'm not saying this in a bad way.
Well, and,
But
you're not.
they
I don't
have,
think you're saying either that it's true for literally everyone.
no,
who
not
are
true
young
for everyone.
parents,
But when you've lived in a place this big your whole life, you only know how to teach this much.
right.
I'm
I
not
get
trying to
that.
belittle or talk down to anybody's life.
Some people are. Some people.
Some people like their small town and they will live in that small town forever
and some
bring
people
their
were
kids
like
up in that small
meant
town,
to
and
have
that's
kids
great.
young. Yeah. Some young parents are phenomenal parents.
Yes, absolutely.
But it's all circumstantial and individual.
Yeah.
It's all. But no, I 100% like get what you're
I
saying.
think from my experience, going out and seeing so much of life, I traveled the world. We went everywhere we ever wanted to go. We did all. Now we can sit down with our kids and be like, okay, we're not going to Disney until my youngest is 7. Because at 3, I'm not bringing my kid to Disney at 3. It makes no sense.
They're not going to remember it.
Not going to remember it. I'm not going to spend $10,000 for a non-memory.
It's so expensive now.
It's about, somebody did a thing I watched a couple of weeks ago. They did our day at the park and what everything cost. And it was like
It's disgusting.
a family of 4, it was like $1,500 for the day.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, and that wasn't counting hotel. That was just Disney.
Yeah.
That was
Or
just
flights.
yeah, it was just pork. So like, okay, we know things like that. And I think that scares a lot of them too is what can I think maybe some of them are like, I'm barely doing things myself without a lot of learning experiences, shall we say? Because I always say you don't have mistakes if you learn from them. What am I going to teach somebody where I don't even know?
Well, not only that, but with how hard we have to work and feel like we're barely sustaining ourselves, the stress level.
Yeah, yep.
It's like
Now we can get it, and you and I we've had this conversation many times about, everybody gets a trophy and that whole mentality.
That's different though than just stress because of finances.
I don't think so. And that's where you and I differ. I don't think that's a different conversation. I think it's part of the same one. Because when you were brought up with no responsibilities, when the responsibilities of life come falling down on you, you don't know how to handle them. And when everybody on the team gets a trophy for 6th place, you don't learn how to have the responsibility of trying to be 1st place. So when you're content and comfortable at mediocre, when mediocre is no longer good enough, too much stress, I can't handle it. And that's what that generation was brought up on.
Yes and no. I feel like a lot of us were also brought up on like having high expectations and just.
So was I. So was everybody. High expectations is part of life. Hi, welcome to fucking Tuesday. You got shit to do today. That's high expectations. I have a job to go to. I have a business to run. I have a family to feed.
Absolutely.
I have a roof to keep over my head. I have clients to take care of. I have high expectations every day too. The difference is my generation, and this is it's not just a generational thing, but it is a little bit. Woke up, did our shit, and didn't bitch about it.
Oh, but I feel like a lot of us do that too. We work. My generation works very hard, but I think part of the problem is we just feel a lot of us feel beaten down because we work so hard and have we feel like we have nothing to show for it.
Well, that goes back to what I mentioned earlier, where the cost of living has gone up so high.
Exactly. Well, that's the second point here.
That where I was coming up, we didn't have the costs that there are now. While I'm still living with them now.
And the discrepancy between what you make and what things cost.
Correct.
And
that's why I said it is scary. And there is, for me, a black and white portion of it. But then there is that very
nuance,
much nuance of life's not the same for the new generations as they were for the older generations. A house costs $30,000 in 1970.
Yeah.
$80,000, whatever.
Now I think
a car was $4,000.
Now I think the average home price in the state of Massachusetts
or almost $1 million. For your average middle class type home is about $1 million.
In certain states across the country,
I'm just saying where we live.
Yeah. If you want a decent area and a decent house, you're probably spending at least $750, and it would probably need some updating even at $750.
My house on the market right now is, and I don't have a fancy house. You
essentially have a colonial.
We have a 4-bed, 3-bath colonial. We rebuilt on a construction loan. We did it the smart way. We took my wife's original house. We live in the house my wife grew up in, and it was a 950 square foot ranch. And we ripped it to the foundation on a construction loan of $260, and built the house we wanted for $260. And I think now it lists for like $625.
That's the thing. When did you do that? What year?
2012. 2011.
Even from then to now, you could easily double the cost it would take to build what you built.
Absolutely.
And that's
And COVID killed
that's
that. 'Cause
disgusting.
all the prices since
That's
COVID
so
were crazy.
disgusting.
Yeah. But
It's
our
like-
house is a fairly common house,
Yeah.
and it's $625
Oh yeah.
on the market right now.
Yeah.
I Zillowed it for some reason.
Really
recently.
close to me. Like
What'd you buy this one for?
280.
On a foreclosure.
Yeah, it had no toilets. Like literally, like there was
280,
just holes in the
and you got to
floor.
poop in the yard.
There were plastic bags in the septic tank, and there were no toilets, just holes in the floor.
Plastic bags in the septic
Oh
tank.
yeah, it was great. Good thing we didn't try and use it before we pumped it. And I mean, if we finished that porch and really landscaped the place, I could easily get $850 for this.
Yeah, and you got a lot of land too.
1.84.
Wow, you have about the same as we do.
Yeah.
We have 1.7. Mm-hmm. You know what's funny though? We have 1.7.
It's just laid out so different, but then you also have the wetlands, so you can't do as much with it.
1.7
Mine's all
size
dry.
lot, only 0.6 usable.
So that
All the
sucks.
rest is considered wetlands.
That
I can't
sucks.
touch it.
Yeah. But so that's one of the
Although I've been thinking of putting a campground in there. Me and the kids.
do it. So that's
Got a tickle, sorry.
That's one of the main points here is that the high cost of living, including housing and childcare, can make it challenging for millennials to afford a family.
Absolutely.
People are also getting married later in life than they used to, which naturally leads to later parenthood. Or if they don't get married until like their late 30s, they're like,
Jeez, you're old.
I already feel like I'm past the point of wanting to deal with like infants, having a newborn and stuff like that.
Yeah, see, we had kids. My wife was 37 when we had kids. Harmony was 37.
Well, that's more
Coda was
average.
42.
That's almost average now. Is like mid to late 30s.
What is this about?
I don't know.
Yep.
Did you see the pollen on the cars today?
that it?
Like
Man,
it's obviously
I'm allergic to this blanket.
I hope not.
I'm kidding.
Obviously increased access to contraception, but that's not really a new thing. And then individualized values. Millennials are more likely to prioritize individual values and life experiences over traditional family expectations. Because I think a lot of people have realized that they only felt like they only thought they were going to have kids or felt like they should because it's something that society like planned out for them or expected of them, where it's like, okay, the American dream, you graduate high school, you go to college, you get a good job, you buy a house, get married, and you have some kids. Like the white picket fence with your two dogs.
Bought your house before you got married?
I did. I lived in sin.
Terrible.
But I think a lot of people are starting to prioritize having more of like a career and spending money on traveling and having those different life experiences as opposed to what society just always said they should do.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The idea of the American dream
Has changed dramatically.
it's like gone.
Like I said to you earlier too, like just the ability to you have teenagers now using AI to make 6-figure salaries at 17.
Yeah.
We didn't have that 40 years ago, 30 years ago, 25
Mm-hmm.
years ago. Even when the internet was in its infancy 25 years ago, you didn't have that opportunity.
No.
So there's more options for income at the moment. I don't want to say jobs because jobs are jobs. They'll always be there.
There's
but there's
more
so many more options for you to make a living.
There is, but the problem is the pay still, unless you hit a certain level of almost like influencer fame or something like that, there's not necessarily enough money coming in still to hit that mark.
But you have
of
to define influencer fame, because there's a lot of YouTubers out there making $100,000 a year that you don't know about.
Oh yeah, no,
And
100%.
$100,000 is nothing to sneeze at.
No, but then situation like that though. Now let's say there's you and your spouse both do that for a living. You're making $200K a year combined, but you live in Massachusetts.
You gotta up your game, or
You know what I mean?
or move to Wyoming.
Or you did the whole thing that everyone said you should do, and you graduated high school, went to college, got a bachelor's, maybe even a master's degree, but now you have a bunch of school loan debt and you're only making 80K a year, and the max out for your career path that you chose is usually only around $130,000 a year.
Yep.
And that's just like the maximum that anyone really ever gets paid for your type of job. But you've got maybe 150K in loans.
Yep. That's why
You
with my
know,
daughter.
it's
So my
like-
daughter's a great little artist, and she's wonderful at digital arts and digital work, and she writes her own gaming code. Started doing that at 7, by the way. She was rewriting Minecraft games at 7 because she just felt like it. And for her, I don't have the career path because I don't want to say lucky for her, but I'm not a generally standard career path guy. I didn't have one.
Right.
So my hope for her is not high school. My hope for her is Voc Tech.
Oh, trades.
I want to see
yeah.
her get into Voc Tech for digital arts and sciences. And then right now, hopefully still when she gets there, Massachusetts colleges are free. So she could go to Massasoit or, any number of state
Like
colleges
a community,
here
yeah, like a state
for
or
free
community.
and get her.
Well, I think there's still a small tuition, but there's
Well, like Massasoit's completely free, right?
It is now?
Yeah. So
Okay.
she could go there. Now, fine, that's a smaller college.
That's a community college.
But she could go in and get her associates and come out with an associate's in digital arts and sciences and maybe even art and have a good grasp at 20 or 21 of what she really wants. Then we go look for college versus 18.
But then she only has 2 more years to go to get her bachelor's. She doesn't have to spend money for 4 years getting the bachelor's.
Exactly.
That's what one of my best friends did. She's a nurse practitioner now, but she took 5 years to become an RN instead of the traditional 4 because she did her associates her first 2 years at a community college. So she couldn't start lab and stuff right away, but
Right.
but it was virtually free. She was able to pay for herself to go through it, and really came out of that with no loans. And then Massasoit actually helped because she ended up going to UMass Boston to finish her bachelor's degree and become an RN. Massasoit actually, because she chose a UMass school, Massasoit helped pay her tuition.
That's cool. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
there was some kind of a program. She still came out of it with some loans, but it was, way less than the average RN comes out with. And then when she decided to go back to finalize becoming a nurse practitioner, she actually ended up finding a primarily online program. So for all of the classroom time, it was online, but then obviously she had to go and do her labs in person and her internships and clinical hours with hospitals in the area and stuff like that. So she was still getting the hands-on.
Okay.
But she finished all of her schooling over the course of so many years, and by the time she was 30, she was a nurse practitioner, and she walked away from all of that with probably 60 or 70,000 in school loans.
That's not bad.
That's a new
In
that's a new
the scope of
SUV.
it, that's not bad. Yeah.
That's a new SUV nowadays.
Yeah. 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 You know what the new Jeeps cost?
Don't even the Wagoneers or
Not the Wagoneers. I'm just talking
or a four-door,
four-door
a
Wrangler,
Rubicon.
4-door Rubicon Wrangler with 392 in it. Let's go all the way up. Is $130,000.
Oh yeah, it's just again.
Jeep.
Here we go.
A Jeep, which I drive a Jeep.
So that's another thing. Is
I don't have that one though. Mine cost me $10,000 used.
So that's another thing though with my generation with feeling like this is it's okay, so yes, there's so many more options for making money. There's different things you can do, but in order for us to feel like we're in a financially comfortable state with the cost of living to sustain raising 1, 2 kids, whatever, which the average now is 2 kids. People are not having as big of families even if they do have kids. But it's
I honestly don't know how people have.
But it's
4 or 5
I don't know.
kids.
But it's you have to work so damn hard and have side hustles or second jobs or have to work so much overtime if you have that option in order to make more income to feel like you can sustain the supporting a family of 4, where it's okay, now there's no work-life balance, and when do you see your kids?
Right.
And that's not fair to the kids. And I think so many of us it's not fair to you and it's not fair to the kids. And I think that's where, I came from a household where, yes, and I think a lot of us did with our boomer parents. They both had to work. Our grandparents took care of us a lot of the time, and because they were able to retire, but the boomers weren't as much, and it just progressively got worse from there as we go. But like, I don't even know if my generation's gonna have Social Security. Probably not at this point. But you know, my husband and myself were both of that kind of common family situation growing up where our parents both had to work, and they both had to work so hard. Our dads were always doing so much overtime, working like 70-hour weeks, and mom was home a little bit more, but she still worked full time as well. Our grandparents would help take care of us, so our parents didn't have to pay for daycare. So at least they had that option, but we saw the stress that our parents had living that kind of lifestyle. And then as we got older, we started to recognize how it affected us as their children. With like, it's awesome that they were able to financially provide for us that well, and I'm thankful and grateful that my family has everything that we have. But part of me kind of wishes like my dad was around more, like looking back, like there'd be so many weekends where my dad was like, let's go camping this weekend, like, or let's go do this weekend, and I'd wake up on Saturday and like dad had to work, or he worked so hard to try and take us on the couple bigger family vacations that we were blessed and able to go on throughout the years. And it was always a road trip. Like we couldn't pay for flights. We couldn't, like it was always like we're driving there, even if it's 17 hours. But he would save up for that. And then something would happen where it was like, I was around 10 or 11. My sister was only 2 or 3. And our 2-year-old dog, to this day, my father thinks the neighbor's boyfriend at the time kicked him when he was over there playing with their dog. But whatever. But he slipped a disc in his back and punctured a main artery and was bleeding internally and needed major emergency surgery. And my parents literally were put in the position where they had to look at their 2 children and say, Disney or the dog. Because they ended up having to use the $10K they had saved up to go to Disney with that summer to save the 2-year-old dog. Because that's how much it cost between his x-rays, his MRI, his surgery, the aftercare, the vet stay, because he was in the vet hospital for like 3 days. So, and it's like, I think, and my husband's father, also worked his ass off for years and years. Very financially responsible, provided a great childhood and stuff for his kids, but wasn't able to be around much because of all the overtime he had to work, and had a very stressful job being in law enforcement, and had to work a lot of overnights to get that good overtime and more money. Had 3 heart attacks by the age of 60. Like, wow. The last one being 6 weeks before our wedding, and my husband was petrified. You know what I mean? And it's like, and we were sitting in, hopefully he'd be okay with me telling this story, but 6 weeks before our wedding, we went to see him at the hospital the day that happened, right after he had gotten out of surgery from placing more stents and whatnot. Obviously the whole family like rushed to the hospital, not knowing. And it's one of the only times I've seen my father-in-law like any kind of emotional. And he literally, and my husband works in law enforcement as well. He kind of took after him. And he was on doing a lot of overnights for a while because that's the way he could get overtime when he was 3 to 11. And my father-in-law literally took his hand and directly looked at him and was like, please get out of there as fast as you can, and please don't work another overnight in your life. And that hit my husband hard. And so now he's thinking, okay, great. Well, now he's day shift, so his overtime is 3 to 11, so he never has to do an overnight. But what happens when we have kids? If we can't pay for daycare, okay, he might have to go back on 3 to 11, so we have opposite schedules, so someone can always be home with the child. But that means if he wants overtime, it's going to be overnights again. And we don't want to have to do that because it's not good for his health. He's a zombie, so it's not good for us. Like it wouldn't be good for his kid.
Right, right.
So it's like, I feel like it's just and I know a lot of like boomers and people in our parents' generation would be like, well, if that's what you have to do, but it's like, okay, yeah, but we watched you guys have to do that and we've seen the repercussions. Like, I don't want that for myself. And I think that's okay. That's okay to have that perspective. Like, I don't want that for myself or my kids. Why not try and like make things better if we can? But with the cost of living right now, don't know about that. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
A lot of people can't even buy a house. Even people in their 30s who have more
houses were
established
going
careers.
like 30, 40, 50 over asking price like a year ago.
Oh, yeah. And people were...
Well, you're in realty. How are the houses going? By the way, if you need a realtor,
I am here.
Brianna Grace Realty.
Yeah.
What is the name of your realty company?
Anchor Realty.
Anchor.
Yes,
Anchor
I'm an agent for Anchor Realty.
Just like a secret agent?
Secret you want to say that?
Brianna Grace.
Sorry,
Secret
I just went on
agent.
a little bit of a tangent and story time there, but I was trying to just drive home like the feeling and the...
She's chasing something in her sleep.
Hardcore dreaming right now. I don't know if you can see her twitching. Her face too. I can feel it on my legs.
Yep.
Oh, she's running.
Yep.
I love when
chasing a
dogs do that
rabbit.
in their sleep.
My beagle will do that, and she barks, and she's like, sound asleep.
She's done that. She woke herself up once when she was younger. Like, she was running so hard, and she must have like crashed
She
or
tripped.
something in her dream, and she literally like jolted herself away.
That's awesome.
I wish I got it on video to this day. It was hilarious, but
My dog will be, you'll hear like,
yep. He'll do that, but he'll do that even though he has such a deep like boof of a bark.
Yep.
He'll do the cute little like boop,
Yep.
boop.
Well, you
Boop.
teach him to whisper too, so he'll whisper in his sleep.
That's true. No, but he
Junie
does.
will actually bay because I have a beagle, so she'll actually get the whole like beagle bay going on in her sleep, like this way, like it sounds like a siren just coming up quietly.
The little beagle sirens.
You look down at her crate and she's just in there like.
That's so cute. He'll start running and he'll do the little like blips. He'll do the little like boop.
Do you put them in crates at night, or do they have crates?
No.
No.
They're the
Junie has a
most-
crate, but
they're
the door's
most-
open. Like I could take the door off. It's her
She
room.
likes it though. It's her bedroom.
And that's what we say. We go to your room, and she walks upstairs.
Sometimes I wish they were
She goes
like
in the
that.
crate. Yeah, and she'll go in the crate, and then she'll like a half hour later she'll jump in bed and try to snuggle
we
in.
tried when they were younger, but she was so self-destructive in the crate. We tried for over a year to crate train her.
Aw.
But she was actually more well behaved out of the crate with Rome of the house. She was so anxious and self-destructive
Separation
in the crate.
anxiety.
Not even.
No?
She doesn't like feeling confined and vulnerable like that. Like, I think it makes her feel vulnerable and trapped.
I know the feeling, Penny.
Yeah, a little claustrophobia. But she was becoming so self-destructive with the crate.
Are you claustrophobic?
It depends on the situation.
Yeah.
But
I'm typically not.
She was at the point where I was like, she's gonna hurt herself trying to get out of the crate.
Are you afraid of heights?
Open heights. I don't like open heights.
What do you mean open heights?
Like a balcony or something if it's up too high and there's only like a little railing that goes up to like halfway up my body. I'm like, oh god, like it'd be far too easy to just like whoop, fall right over.
Nick just pushed.
Oh god.
Nobody would know.
Yeah. Yeah,
Are you afraid of spiders?
Not a big fan.
No.
They're one of my
We
least
should do a
favorite
phobia
insects.
episode. Go through phobias.
Why do people have phobias?
Because they're irrational.
I have anxiety, so that makes sense with my brain, but at the same time,
we could talk about your anxiety one time too.
I don't know if we want to do
A
that.
whole episode on your anxiety.
Yours too, bro.
Mine's easy.
All right, anyway,
I know how
so
to manage
why
mine.
people don't want kids anymore?
Anxiety is a big reason why they don't want kids.
Probably. Well, having kids is a massive unknown.
It is.
You don't know what it's going to be like until you're in it, and then you're in it. So it's like, now it's too late.
Because you can't bring them back.
I think a lot of parents will never admit it out loud and don't want to admit it, but I think a lot of people who like just didn't really think about it and jumped right into it and just had kids regret having kids.
Do you have a metric for that to show that that's a reason? You got kicked.
Well, I didn't really say what the reason was. I just think, again, a lot of people just felt like it's what, from what I've seen on like random videos on the internet. I'm not saying I have stats about this.
TikTok factual.
This is an observation that I think it's more so that a lot of people didn't realize how difficult being a parent could be. They only thought of all of like the la-di-da good things, having a cute little baby and
that keeps you up all night and poops on you.
Well, that's the thing. It's like they just thought of this,
Yes.
the exciting moment of having a baby and having this cute little infant and all like the happy and social media things about parenting. And they neglected to realize like there's a lot that comes with that. That sometimes is not so fun or enjoyable, and it can be stressful, and you forget that you're not just having a baby, a cutesy little quiet little sleeps all the time doll. You're gonna have a toddler and a child.
Do you think that's stopping?
And a preteen and a teen.
Do you think that's stopping millennials from having babies?
I think my generation's a little more aware of that. So probably.
Yeah.
It's something that's talked about more. And I'm not gonna lie. Luckily,
I think you are.
Yeah, it's just me. But I think this is another thing too, and this is something that I've just noticed. I understand when you're in the throes of newborn and infancy and having a freaking three-nager in the house too. You know what I mean? It's hard. But I think because too my generation doesn't have as much support, like a lot of people don't have like that village anymore because like their parents still have to work and whatever.
I had 20 sets of parents when I was a kid.
Yeah, exactly.
I grew up on a block with a whole bunch of families.
Right, but it's
if
not.
If your parents weren't around, somebody else would pinch hit for them, and literally pinch hit.
Yep, it's not.
How many times I got dragged home by another parent?
I know it's not like that anymore, though. It's just for some reason it's not, and it's tough because, like, for those of us that don't yet have kids, but a lot of our friends and family members that are our age are having kids. Like, luckily, my husband and I don't deal with it as much. Our friends aren't really like this, but I feel like when people vent to their friends about the trials and tribulations that can come along with parenthood and being sleep deprived and whatever in those first couple years, they don't make being a parent sound like any fun at all. Like, it sounds miserable because they only talk about the bad things and they only vent to you about how tired they are and how off, you know what I mean?
But that's life.
No, I know, but I think the way in which
you know?
some people portray it is like humans always take things to the extreme, right? Like, too many humans are way too far one way or way too far the other. Like, and I feel like there's so many people who are either just like, parenthood is fantastic, it's the best thing you could ever do, and like, no, this is great, everything about it's great, it's wonderful online. But then you also have, on the other hand, you have the people that are like, this kid kept me up all night and and like only talk about the negative. And it's like, that's neither of
So you
those.
got to stand back and
Right, but
assimilate
it's like
both.
neither of those takes are really realistic at all.
No.
But it's just what we're infiltrated
It's
with.
all of it. It's all of it.
Yeah.
But and I didn't go into a lot of what, like you and I before the show today were talking a bit. I didn't go into a lot about what I think about kind of that stuff, but there's also the step up your game, which the millennials notoriously struggle with. They had to open companies to coach millennials on how to go get a job, because once they got out of college and mom and daddy weren't handing them everything, can mom come on my interview with me?
Okay, but who created that?
Not me.
The boomers did.
No, that's why I'm Gen X. We made good kids.
So it's like, I think a lot of us have learned, and not all millennials are like that. You know, and I will say, like, out of, again, thinking about mine and my husband's direct friend groups and whatever, like, I don't think any of us are really like that. Like, we'd get spanked, we'd get, you know what I mean? Oh no!
Still? Or?
My mom threw a hairbrush at me once when she was so pissed at me.
My mom threw a chair and broke my sister's nose once. On my sister, she should have ducked.
Yeah,
but I had a 4'11" Sicilian mom.
My husband
we
and
were more
I did
afraid
not
of
get
her than my dad.
Yeah, my husband and I did not get participation trophies. I had the parents where it was.
My kids know it's
I
show up. Do
I
the
had
job.
the dad where it was like, if when I played soccer and whatever, if my team didn't win at the end of it and they just tried to give us all a trophy, just so we'd all get a trophy at the end of the season, my dad would look at me and be like, "You know why they did that, right?" Or like, you know, that doesn't mean you won, right?
Yeah, you know, you still suck.
That
right?
just mean you. It just means that you.
If I lost when I was a kid, I got a slice of pizza and a slap on the back.
That's just congratulating you for sticking it out and actually finishing your season.
Good job on sucking today, kid.
Yeah, my dad would be like. Luckily, like the group of adults that surrounded me and a lot of my friends were like, that's just for sticking it out and finishing the season.
Yeah.
That's not, you know what I mean? Like, that's whatever. I don't know. It's interesting. Back to the original subject here. I mean, I can understand why birth rates have gone down, and it's for a multitude of reasons. But I think one of the biggest ones is the freaking finances for a lot of people.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It all kind of ends up stemming back to finances at the end of it. And it's tough because that's something that, to a certain extent, we're not in control of. We're not in control of cost of living.
No, you're not.
You're in control of what you do with your own money.
Right.
But for a lot of people in a lot of areas in the country, it's like damn near impossible because of the gap between what the salaries are and what the cost is, like to even try to save or invest or do anything of that nature.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's scary. If it's hard for just you and your spouse to live halfway comfortably on your own on your incomes, how are you gonna do that with children?
Agreed.
I don't know. Let us know what you guys think. Are we not?
Yeah. So
are we not hitting the mark? Like, did some of you decide not to have children for these reasons? Or for other reasons that we didn't touch upon? Am I just like completely ignorant? I don't know. Shut up.
Not completely. Define completely.
Listen, I am of this generation, so out of the two of us.
Yeah, I know.
Like, anyway. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you're excited for this season like we are.
Season 2.
Sorry it took us so long to come back, but,
yes.
You know, life happens. And
I actually needed a break from her for a while. I'm kidding. I just want to be with Penny. That's why I came back.
I'm the problem. It's me.
Yes, you're the problem. It's you. It's you.
It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. At tea time. Even Penny agrees.
Yes.
No, she's actually the problem in this household, but we love her.
Look us up on all your normal podcast sites. I still got to get us on Apple. Apple has been a big pain in my butt about getting this podcast.
They don't like our logo, guys. Tell Apple to just
why.
stop being a bitch about our logo.
Don't know why. But just find us on Spotify and find us on Facebook at our page, Totally Random Thoughts Podcast. And find us on TikTok, same thing. And we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.